Hey y'all, Fuzzy Biker here at Baxter Cycle in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa. Boy, we got something going on today. This is my hot rod Himalayan 450. I'm just about 30 miles away or 70 miles away from 20,000 miles, and the bike's doing grand. But we got some things going on. One is the tire. This is the original tire. I just got back from a trip down to Arkansas and Oklahoma and all them places, and the tire feels fine. The tire performs fine and all that neat stuff, but it's wore out, you know. If you look at it, it's close to the wear indicators. Let me see if we can find one. Well, anyway, just look at it. It looks wore out, doesn't it? It's wore out. So I'm going to put a new tire on it. So that's one of the issues we've got going on. The other thing, you know, the bike's filthy dirty because my bikes are always filthy dirty. You know, we put a new chain on it, 14,000. This is a Dunlop Trail Max mission that's been on the back for 12,000 miles. I think the stock Seat I got, let me think about that, 7,600 miles on it before I changed it. And when I changed it, I didn't change it because it was wore out. I changed it because I was going to go on a long ride and I wanted a fresh tire. You know, I was worried I wouldn't be able to get, you know, the 2,000 or 3,000 miles that I needed. So I think a stock Seat on the rear would go 10,000 miles, and I know a stock Seat on the front will go 20,000 miles because 19,946 miles. So, you know, 54 more miles and I'll have this at 20,000. Other things that we're going to do today, change that tire. I'm going to check the brake pads. I don't think they're, you know, they're performing fine, but I don't know. But this is, if you look at here, this is falling apart, and I actually lost my headlight. Do I have this in neutral? Yep. So if I start the bike up, I should have a headlight, but I don't. I got a high beam yet, and I had to use that on my. I got a high beam yet, but I had to use that on my return trip from Arkansas. So we got to get a whole new headlight for that. And lucky for me, Baxter's has one. So what I'm going to do is right now I'm going to take the headlight out. I'm going to take the tire off first, and we'll get that changed. Then I'm going to take the headlight out and we'll replace it with a whole different one. Baxter's had them in stock. So why am I talking about that? Because I think Royal Enfield, I've got the same kind of headlight on a couple of my other bikes. I think my Super Meter, and I've never had any trouble with 12,000 miles. I'm wondering if there's something you should do for a off-road headlight, you know? Or if there's one aftermarket available, I'd buy that too. If you all know one, let me know. But anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. I am also, what else can we, oil line, all that neat stuff. Let me just check this thing over. Oh, anyway, I'll get back to y'all in a minute. Wahoo. Okay, y'all. So I used this here, which was, first off, I'm using my own toolkit. Everything I'm going to do in this bike today, I'm hoping I can get done with the toolkit. So I broke these loose with this. I broke this loose. First off, this comes off. This is under the seat, and I need to relocate that into my tool bag so I don't have to go under my seat to get it. So you put that in there like that, and then you use this to twist it loose, and it came right off, you know. Now, of course, I'm not going to be dragging a jack around with me when I'm out in the middle of nowhere, but we'll have to figure that out. I'll have stuff in the back when we're out in the middle of nowhere. Hopefully I won't have to do this out in the middle of nowhere. I wanted to show you all this. So I'm twisting this out right here. You know, you put it on and turn it out. This is threaded on the other end. So the axle comes in from this way, threaded into this. I don't think I'm going to have to remove the brake caliper to get this off. It looks like it should be able to drop right out. Okay, I got it out. I'm going to check my brake pads. They actually look pretty good. I'm happy with that for now. You know, we're going to have this apart in about 10,000 miles because right before we go to Alaska, I'm going to redo this whole thing again. There's the axle right there, big end here. This little doodad fits into a bolt, right? There's a hole at the end right there. You can see that. We'll clean that up, put all new grease on it. And then I did not have to remove the caliper to get it done. Here's the tire here. Let's see if there's spacers here. Yep. I'll take those off before I run that back to the wheel shop. Alright, y'all, this is the one that I just took off my Himalayan. This is the replacement one. There's a couple differences. One is there's a band that goes all the way around the headlight, and I have to transfer that over to here. This little bracket is on the original Himalayan headlight. I have to move that over here. And then if you look here, this is not here. And it actually looks like it'd be in the way if it was, because of this little thing you have to tighten down. So I'll get that all done, then we'll go put this thing back on the bike. All right, y'all, we got her all done. So new tire. It's just like the old tire, but it's, I think it's got, it was a friend of mine had put new tires on his. He had about 300 miles on this one. So I've got another Seat just like the old one, but new, you know, so in good shape. Brake, everything went just fine. Everything, we used, we had no trouble getting everything back together. We used all the stock tools that were in the toolkit of the bike, except for a jack that we used to jack up the front end. On the road, we would have gear to hold it down or something like that. So that would be how we'd do that. The headlight, that was kind of interesting. There's a band around here, actually. You can kind of see the edge of it there. And you have to actually take that, it's a two-part band. You have to actually take that apart, transfer it over. You have to put the adjuster lever. There's a little clip on that's on the other headlight that I had to put on this one. And then there's a chunk of metal that I had to take off of the back of this new headlight. And it worked. Let's turn that on and see if we can get you going here. I think the bike has to be running for it to go. Yeah, so there's low, high. So we're in business there. So I took the tire off and all that neat stuff, but the guy here at Baxter Cycles went ahead and he switched the thing over, put the new tube and all that stuff. So I didn't actually do the actual tire work. I just took it off and put it back on. I really appreciate their help with that. Thank you, Baxter Cycle. Oh, and the other one is they warrantied this headlight, and they would have installed it for me, except I wanted to do it myself. So they warrantied the headlight at 20,000 miles. I think that's the first warranty item I've had on this bike, if I can remember right. So Royal Enfield, if you're watching, make us a better headlight for this bike. If you have, if you all know of a good aftermarket headlight that actually fits this bike, I haven't looked. There might be plenty out there. I haven't looked. Let me know about it. Other things, the little nut axle bolt was under here. I wanted that in my toolkit, so now I've got that. There's a little pouch, a zipper pouch inside this pouch, so everything is now in there, so I don't have to worry about that. If I'm on the road, I can get everything out of here. That all works pretty well. I also added a wrench for this. The toolkit does not come with a wrench for the oil filter, so I bought one. It was like, I don't know, $8. Now, will I ever need that on the road? I don't think so, but you know how us motorcycle people are, right? So if y'all are interested in anything like this, any of these accessories, new or used Royal Enfield Triumph, classic British bike of any type, need parts, accessories, thingamajigs, doodads, bags, boxes, you know, things like this. Windshield, GV, this is a WRS windshield. I think I'm going to get the GV windshield. Haven't got back on that yet. I got this at Baxter Cycle. Anything at all, you know, gloves, helmets, socks, underwear, anything at all. Get yourself over to Baxter Cycle here in the mighty mini-tropolis of Marnie, Iowa. Or go to baxtercycle.com. Tell those fine folks that me, Fuzzy Biker, sent you. Now, it's a beautiful day here. I've got a new tire on my bike. And by the way, the brakes were fine. I'm going to go for a bike ride. Y'all do the same if you can. Life is good, my friends. Wahoo! 3. Wahoo! 3. Wahoo! 3. Wahoo! Wahoo!